just enjoying each other's presence. Mm-hmm. That's got to be where the center of gravity is.
Question.
Yeah, Scott, Ina Fried with Axios. Maybe it's, I am one of those women who was born without a uterus. So I'm curious, help me understand why it is that in order to deal with these massive issues, climate change, the virus, et cetera, why do we simultaneously have to dehumanize and delegitimize transgender and non-binary folks who are speaking their truth about their identity? Why? I don't understand why those two things are in conflict.
Yeah, well, I would just disagree with the premise of the question. I don't think there's anything dehumanizing about using terms like woman and man to make a specific point. I mean, they're not intrinsically dehumanizing. It's certainly not denying the reality of transgenderism or the ethical commitment to total political equality there, right? What it is doing is it's policing the language in a highly unrealistic way and making scapegoats of people who are actually on your side, right? Who actually want total political equality for people regardless of anything, really, And so this is something that should be debatable. I'm not saying the language never evolves. I mean, we do learn to use new terms.
But it's having real-world consequences. We have, in many states, trans youth are not getting access to health care. They're not being able to use the restroom because of the actions and the words. These laws are coming out of the actions and words of the people you're defending.
Well, but no, some of it is coming from a backlash. I mean, again, we've got two extremes amplifying hysteria on both sides, right? And there is just this violent pendulum swing, even in the course of any given day, between the two. And what we need is a reasonable middle that, again, is committed to political equality, right? And actually has compassion as its moral ballast, right? I mean, there are things that are non-negotiable, right? And I mean, perversely, as you go further to the left, you get really stark examples of moral confusion, where there are people who would castigate me for what I just said to you, but are actually kind of agnostic about the treatment of women in Afghanistan under the Taliban, right? Like, who am I to say that putting women in cloth bags is bad, right? That's an ancient culture. They've decided that on their own. That's maybe my own colonialism and bigotry. No, you can't have it both ways, right? So there's a lot of moral confusion proximate to your side of this debate, and that has to be sorted out, right? And I mean, again, it's a conversation. What I'm really arguing for is the moral emergency parameter that we've put over it, right, has to be relaxed, right? We have to talk about what we have now is like a trigger warning standing in front of our entire civilization, right, from the point of view of the left. And you're getting a reaction. I'll grant you're getting a reaction from the right that is another topic of valid concern, right? It is hostile and it's overreaching and it's amplified by real authoritarianism and, in some cases, theocracy, right? I mean, you have.
But that starts with you saying I'm not a woman. It continues further.
No, I'm not. Acknowledging the reality. Your situation only makes sense by first acknowledging the reality of biology, right? The only way to discover that you're trans is to discover that you don't feel compatible with the biology that was on your birth certificate. Right? But now we have people who are literally saying that you shouldn't put boy or girl on a birth certificate, right? That should just be decided later, right? Because it's so toxic for society to have made that decision, at birth. There's so many reasons why that isn't good public policy, right? But again, what I'm arguing for is not any specific remedy now. I'm arguing for a conversation where the temperature has been turned down, right? But that's not what's happening. What's happening is that you literally have to be J.K. Rowling not to have your life destroyed if you say what I just said about the term woman, right? And
guys, I apologize.
Yeah.
Ian, I apologize. I just need to get to a couple of other questions.
Thank you for the question.